Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And guys, before we fully dive into this video, I just want to ask for all those individuals out there that do believe that this year is going to be very bullish for crypto and XRP, hit that like button and also comment down below XRP Army. As we do look at Ripple, and as we have been recently focused on the push for faster payments, specifically faster settlement, right? Because we have faster payments. I can make a payment pretty quickly right now on Venmo, on Cash App, you name it. The biggest problem is settlement, right? The number one thing that we say on this channel is rapid payments demand rapid settlement. You can't achieve that without private sector initiatives like with what Ripple has achieved. And we do see here faster payments are often the top value priority or proposition for global payments leaders incorporating crypto into cross-border payments. So this is a top value proposition for global payments, specifically leaders within the global payment scheme around incorporating crypto into cross-border payments. Very interesting, very, very interesting. I think that this is a very bullish statement, one, but also we know that this is the case. Just recently, on June 26th, we do see international payments are a pain. The SAP touts a blockchain solution. SAP says it's an easy to use as online banking and a true solution for businesses. So as we do look at cross-border payments, it's becoming a big focus point now. The issue here, and I see a lot of people say like, you know, what makes Ripple so special with XRP? Right? Like, why isn't XLM better than XRP? Why isn't Stellar, further ahead than Ripple? Well, the thing is that Ripple's been around for well over a decade. And in fact, even going back to the early on patents that were created by David Schwartz, they go all the way back to like the 80s and the 90s. So as we do look at Ripple, like this is something that's been planned ahead of time for decades now. And, as we do look at XRP when it launched and when we look at, Ripple expanding rapidly since then, I believe that Ripple is the only company within the space that is perfectly positioned for cross-border payments. The connections to Ripple are also extremely vast. It's been something that I've gone over many times before on this channel. I believe that Ripple is the chosen one when we talk about cross-border payments. And this is a $156 trillion opportunity that is ever growing. Over here, it's time to modernize cross-border payments. This is February 23rd, 2023. This is from Finastra. Now, I do have this PDF file open over here, one second. And within this, we actually do see that the value of cross-border payments rising $250+ trillion by 2027. 5% growth rate as well per year. Like I said, this market is ever growing. And we do see it's time to modernize cross-border payments. The value of cross-border payments continues to rise, but new market entrants are stealing market share from banks and other institutions. Very interesting. Fintechs have embraced new technology to transform the industry, while banks and others are largely entrenched in the status quo. Without modernization, market share and revenue will continue to decline. The answer? Bring greater speed, transparency, and cost savings through technology. Interesting. And we do see where the market growth is occurring. B2B is the big one. It's a big area to focus on. It's kind of comical because that's specifically where Ripple has been focused on for so long. And we do see down here that, case in point, Thunes modernizes cross-border payments. 130 plus payment countries, 79 currencies, 4 billion bank accounts, 210 cash pickup locations, 300 plus payment methods, and 10 times more cost-effective transactions. Why banks are losing ground in cross-border payments. Increased transparency in cross-border payments is a top priority for many banks and other institutions. One of the main reasons is the need to reduce the extensive cost associated with sending and receiving funds across borders. Fintech products dramatically reduce the time it takes to receive cross-border payments, with some providers offering instant payment capabilities. The thing that I'm very focused on this, like overall PDF file in, is the idea of embracing private sector technology. When we look at banks losing ground in this market, which is extremely vast, well, guess what? They're not just going to sit back and let that happen. They're going to be like Bank of America that plans on embracing XRP after the lawsuit is done. And we do see down here, cost of an international payment. Check this out. They even break this down fully. Fintech technology reduces up to 95% of payments cost. Huge, huge innovation. Time it takes to receive cross-border payments. Banks, businesses, up to 30 days. Consumers, up to 10 days. Fintechs, instant to 2 days. 75% of consumers would make international transfers more often if processing were faster. Lack of transparency hinders business customer growth. Lack of efficiency characterizes correspondent networks as well. And here we have learn how to maintain your competitive advantage in cross-border payments. Contact us today. I wonder what type of technology I would be utilizing if I did contact Finastra. Would I be utilizing Ripple technology? Because going all the way back to October of 2019, Ripple in London, there it is again, London, pay attention to London, Ripple to bring blockchain technology to Finastra's banking customers. And I know that this is not new news. I get it, right? But this PDF file in this article is from Finastra. It is today more than ever before. It is so important to focus on cross-border payments. It is. Banks are losing ground. We are seeing innovation happening on the forefront of faster payment technology systems, like the FedNow service, for an example. Services are getting closer and closer to a full rollout. Meanwhile, most people are not focused on the big picture here, which is the players behind the scenes, the private sector initiatives. Those that understand Ripple understand what, Ripple has been doing for the last couple of years and even decades, understands how large of an innovation this actually is, especially when you tap into crypto. And we know that Ripple working with Finastra is a huge game changer because, again, this allows for all of the major banks tied to Finastra to utilize Ripple technology if they would want to, which has a ton of major names tied to it, which I've talked about many times in the past. I think it's like, 8,000 now, almost 9,000 if we scroll down. Yeah, it's like 8.1K customers from global banks to credit unions, 84 out of the top 100 banks. I mean, they are a big name in the fintech space. And this is a company that realizes the value proposition behind instant payments and cross-border payments themselves. And of course, here you guys have the Ripple breakdown with Finastra. Again, this is an older PDF file, but it's still very, very clear today more than ever before that this is a big initiative. And I really do think that as we look at what's happening around payments and payment technology itself, it's going to be catering. I honestly think that this market itself is going to be catered to the private sector. It just makes sense, right? And even if, even if you have RippleNet directly tied into things like Swift to bring faster payments, that would be a huge game changer. And again, right, we don't need to see a Swift Ripple partnership. No, Swift can tap into RippleNet all day long. This is how I envision the future. I envision the future being private initiatives like RippleNet taking over, because banks, they're killing they have for the longest time eaten up way too much money around these transactions. You have an average cost to banks, $27 per transaction minus FX costs. That's wild to me. So as we do look at what's happening through crypto enabled payment solutions like RippleNet with XRP, it truly is changing the game. It's changing the game. And you know what's funny? Once we see a bank like Bank of America, for an example, tap into this type of technology, it's game over. Every single major bank will want to utilize this technology. Why? Because it's going to be what's in demand. And it's going to be so competitive. The market for banking and finance is going to be extremely competitive once we do see initiatives like Ripple being tapped into from major banks. Now, also with FedNow, shout out to Anderson. I've been utilizing a lot of tweets by Anderson. He's an incredible individual, very, very insightful individual around the XRP community and this entire community as well. He talks about XDC and things like that over on Twitter as well. Go check him out if you haven't already. But we do see FedNow article plus David Schwartz on FedNow. FedNow's open architecture will enable banks and other financial institutions to develop APIs to integrate with FedNow. This will stimulate the creation of new payment services and applications and encourage the use of technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and potentially, I love how they say potentially, blockchain applications. We know that this is going to happen, whether we like it or not. Blockchain technology is going to be tied in. It 100% is. Remittance companies and their customers would also welcome more speed with cross-border payments, of course. And then over here as well. In working to build modern international payments, we've discovered that the biggest obstacle is often the very last hop, getting the funds to the payment recipient through the domestic payment system. But lacking connectivity to consumers, CBDCs won't solve the last mile problem that has made modernizing international payments so difficult. This is David Schwartz. And we do see down here, fortunately, domestic systems are modernizing. SEPA, Singapore, and others all have, it's very interesting that they mentioned Singapore here as well. And others all have very strong domestic systems. The US is implementing FedNow, though that won't be live for another few years. And well, guess what? FedNow is now days away, which a lot of you guys got mad that I made a video talking about how FedNow is days away from launching. I don't get it. You called it clickbait. It's not like FedNow is literally days away now. And then last but not least, we do see, so there is definitely an opportunity here to bridge domestic real-time payment systems such as FedNow, the clearinghouse for USD, with powerful benefits for SMEs and ultimately consumers around the world. Key word there is bridge. How are you going to bridge it? Interesting. I think I know a way, right? I think we all know a way. Starts with X, ends with P. And of course over here, financial institutions worldwide choose our payment solutions to streamline treasury management. Talking about XRP, one of the biggest use cases that I fully centered out on initially on when I started this YouTube channel was SMEs with treasury management and also tapping into line of credit as well. This is also a big area of opportunity. And when we look at this, so we have the quick guide over here. It's roughly seven PDF slides. It's really not much, honestly. And this is all through on-demand liquidity, of course, with XRP. And when we scroll down, we can see introduction. The global cross-border payments landscape is slow, fragmented, and ripe for innovation. Interesting. No one understands the implications of globalization better than the financial institutions that manage cross-border capital flows. This management depends on best-in-class payment services to ensure funds flow smoothly and on time throughout an organization in sync with business needs and geopolitical environments. It seems as though Ripple is trying to tap into every single level of the game. Does it not? I mean, you have the settlement, you have the bridge asset for settlement. Now you're going to be the ones that are tapping into treasury flows as well. I mean, it seems as though everything is in line for Ripple. For multinational financial institutions that operate on a global scale, there is a time-critical factor for getting funds to the right place at the right time. Legacy international payment rails can take days to settle and lack the transparency needed for businesses to precisely predict treasury flows. This lack of precision can result in serious costs to a business, and being confined to traditional banking hours only further exacerbates this challenge. Treasurers at global financial institutions are also faced with the task of managing multi-currency cash flows across operating, investing, and financing activities. Balance sheets containing translated foreign currency must also be in lockstep with translated cash flows using the best possible exchange rate available at that time. Ultimately, business growth is stifled by the status quo, and many are missing out on potentially crucial markets due to inefficiencies in the infrastructure of global payments. This is why I say we are about to see an entirely new financial infrastructure around our global payment system. It's happening. Luckily, there is an opportunity to break from the status quo and streamline treasury management for your business and its customers. Financial institutions worldwide are turning to Ripple's payment solution for fast, secure payments that settle in real time and improved tracking and transparency over the flow of funds. Financial institutions worldwide, they're turning to Ripple because they know that this is superior technology. And we do see down here, drive your business forward with on-demand liquidity. Payments is a cost-intensive business that requires efficient global payment rails and access to working capital in order to innovate and grow. On-demand liquidity is a cutting-edge liquidity solution that leverages the digital asset XRP to enable instant settlement and reduce the need to hold pre-funded accounts in destination markets. With on-demand liquidity, businesses get cost optimization, superior technology. Like I said, this is superior technology. A trusted partner as well. Streamlined global payments by enabling real-time settlement and 24/7, 365 availability. Moving funds from one internal account to another in real time when you need it, leveraging competitive exchange rates and transfer fees. Instantly top up your positions with your payout partners around the world around the clock. Tap into new markets with Ripple's global network as well. And we even do see that World Bank data supports this notion, showing that imports and exports of goods and services to and from Brazil, Mexico, and India, all notoriously difficult payment corridors that Ripple is, of course, generously positioned in, have continued to trend dramatically upward over the past few years, reaching more than 290 billion, 500 billion, and 700 billion, respectively. Yeah, these are huge FX markets as well that Ripple is a part of. I mean, Ripple is literally a part of almost all of the FX market at this point. They are in Singapore, they are in Hong Kong, they are in the UK, they are in, I'm trying to think of the other one, Hong Kong, I believe, right? Maybe I said it already, Japan as well. Here they are in Brazil, Mexico, India. These are like the largest FX markets out there, and Ripple is in all of them. And it's wild to me. And we even do see down here that Ripple can help alleviate these burdens for financial institutions looking to serve expanding businesses. By joining Ripple's global payments network, our customers are able to access hundreds of new partners around the world, including newly added payout markets in regions like Africa, Argentina, and European Economic Area, EEA, and Israel, which represent almost 90% of the FX market. I mean, there you have it. Like, Ripple has expanded so rapidly in the last couple of years, I just don't think people realize it. And it's wild to me. And they even quote the G20 here. They also quote, the IMF. And we even do see like research is being conducted to address the challenges surrounding the current cross-border payments landscape, most notably speed, cost, and transparency. And we already know that every single one of these problems are already being solved by Ripple. And it's wild to me. Like, we already have, like, everything is already aligned perfectly. We just have to be patient. That's it. We just have to be patient. And remember, like, this is going to be a $250 trillion market by 2027. Now, mind you, 1% of that market, 2% of that market, 3%, 4%, 5% will significantly demand a large amount of XRP, creating a supply and demand that we've never seen in the past. And combine this with retail effects and the XRP ledger effects. I mean, to me personally, I just don't see a future where XRP is not in the double digits. Of course, a lot of people want those triple digits, and I get it. We will get there, but it's going to take a lot of time. These things do not happen overnight. And very well, we could be still years and years away until XRP gets truly tapped in, to trillions of dollars. But when it does happen, well, guess what? I really do hope that you have a bag of XRP, because I know a lot of Bitcoin maxis out there that don't even touch XRP, and they will regret it. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.